Good morning. Today, we're going to film our first Q&A. I have asked you to ask me questions that you would like to know about me, and you did, so now I'm going to answer them. Question 1 is actually a twofer. It's from both Chris Wilson and Journey with Jay. They ask, would you show us and tell us about your tattoos on your arms and the story or history behind some of them? Okay, I'm tattooed on more than just my arms, but for the sake of not making this a 3-hour long video, I'll just show you my arms. We'll start over here. This terrible sun inside all of this scene was actually my second tattoo. The first one is a Spitfire head that's on my back. I drew this tattoo myself, and I was so proud of it at the time. I was 18 years old, so literally 18 years ago I got this done. And it was supposed to signify the unity between everyone, with the sun being black and white and mixed together. Really, it's a crappy tribal sun. So I'm an idiot, I was young, and I was dumb. So kids, if you're watching this, do not get tattooed when you turn 18. You are not going to like them years down the road. You're not going to make a smart decision. We'll move into the inside of this arm here. This star was an early on tattoo. I was probably 18 or 19 years old. I got that one first, and then a few years later, I wanted them to match, so I got the second one. This one's a little bit thinner. The same artist did both of them. They have absolutely no meaning besides I really liked stars. You're gonna see a theme. We'll go up here to the upper arm. I had this Ankh put on. Again, I was big into unity, and Ankh is the Egyptian hieroglyphic for life, so I was big on this whole unity and life thing. And then, as you can see, there's another star here, and I had this banner comes wrapping around with all these little stars. And then later on, I had the fire added. So I have the color fire mixed with the black and white fire, which to me at the time, again, it signified this life, this unity, this togetherness. And yeah, I don't mind the Ankh. The banner's okay. I don't mind the text. Honestly, I probably haven't thought about that text on the back of my arm in years. Completely forgot it was there until pretty much just now. But all of this fire in the negative star up here, that's not a negative star because she outlined it and you can see the outline. I hate all of that. I do not like that at all. There's a piece on my chest that's a little girl on this like gnarled looking tree looking out into a sunset, and that sunset transitions into this nighttime scene, which transitions into this cityscape here. There's actually I think 4 different panels from a graphic novel called Blood Song. It pretty much centers around this girl here, and then there's all these different panels, and then the back panel with this bleeding heart that I think I might have had a reason for that when I got it, but again, that's probably 15 years ago. I couldn't tell you why I got that now. I probably thought it looked cool and I gave it a meaning. It's a bleeding heart and I just had her take the thorns out of it. But there's another cityscape panel back here. I can't twist my arm around. I think the girl, yeah, she's crying in the street back there. And then all this transitions into this neighborhood scene where you have this family that originally, this family was not supposed to look zombies. They were supposed to have eyeballs. But my friend Elijah did most of this work. He didn't do this piece, but he did the outline on my forearm. And I just liked the way these people looked as zombies. So when we came to do the color, I said, leave their eyes open. I want them to be zombies. I can always eyeball them in later on. Never did. Love the way they look. And then on the back here, we have Justice holding the scales. That's her fist there. Then across my wrists, it says American Dream. Now, the story behind all of this is it's essentially the American dream, which is that why my wrists ultimately said that. It starts off with the little girl. She's young, she's pure, she's innocent. And it transitions into this nighttime sky where we hit our early years, our like 18, we become adults, we're young adults, and we have decisions to make. And that's really the I don't want to say the defining point in our lives, because everybody can change. There's nothing that says you have to be this person your entire life, but it's really the time that shapes how our lives go, our ultimate path. And after that, it transitions into this like adulthood, this real adulthood, where you kind of have the wife and the kid and the dog, and you have the white picket fence. And this whole time, you're not necessarily being judged by justice, the scales of justice, but this whole time everyone judges themselves. So throughout this entire transition of human life, you're judging yourself on everything. So that's why I have justice there with the scales. And the American dream, it ultimately ends with the whole story. It's the keeping up with the Joneses, that unattainable goal. So no matter what we get in life, we always want more. We always want something else. We always want what our neighbor has that's bigger and better. So it's not that the American dream is come to America and make it and you're going to be rich. The American dream, to me, is it's infinity, really. It's the unattainable goal that we're constantly chasing. This tattoo here is it's actually done by my friend Austin Lee, who is kind of becoming a pretty famous artist. He drew this for me in 2005. The date I had first, the 6/12/05. Now this is actually me and my friend Billy. It's a memorial tattoo to Billy. He passed away on June 12th, 2005. I had this picture of Billy and I as children, and I gave that to my friend Austin. I gave him the lyrics, I gave him the picture. This is what he came up with. And Austin said to me, he's like, if you don't like it, you don't have to get it. And I said, Austin, this is perfect. And I put it on my body as soon as I possibly could. So this is a memorial to my friend Billy that passed away. This is actually my mother's wedding portrait. I just remember seeing this picture as a kid, and I just thought it was awesome. It was black and white. My friend Elijah did this one as well. He did a killer job. He's not a portrait artist, but he pretty much nailed this tattoo. So super happy with this. And then the back here is actually, it's based upon some of the JDM Honda Ruckus artwork. In Japan, it's called the Zoomer in Japan though. The commercial was the Ruckus or Zoomer in Japan came to life, and it was this big robot. So I took the original artwork. I was able to find some of the sketches for the commercial. A French company did it. And I gave it to Amy, and Amy redrew it a little bit. And then she said, have Elijah fix it up a little bit. So we gave it to Elijah. And this was the ultimate thing that came out. I wanted a robot tattoo forever. When Amy was in art school, she was big on painting robots. And I always wanted a robot tattoo by Amy. But she wouldn't draw me one. She refused to draw me a robot. She didn't want to give me a robot tattoo. So finally, I convinced her to redraw the Honda Zoomer JDM commercial robot, and then Elijah changed it slightly, and I asked him to add the Japanese flag to the battery box. So I hope you enjoyed that quick walkthrough of my arms. Let's get on to question number 2 from Journey with Jay. He asks, how old is Oliver and the cat? Well, Oliver is about 8.5 to 9, and baby cat is about 6. Both of them we adopted from Griffin Pond Animal Shelter. That's up in like Waverly, Pennsylvania. It's in Lackawanna County. They are a great animal rescue. They are expanding right now, so that's awesome. Over the years, we have donated money and supplies to them. They took great care of our babies before we got them, and we want to give back what we can when we can to them, because there's plenty of other animals up there that need a home. So, PSA, if you're thinking about getting a pet, go to your local animal shelter and adopt one. Don't bother going to a pet store or a breeder. You're going to get an overpriced animal that's not going to appreciate you the way an animal that you saved will. Once you rescue a pet, it's an incredible feeling, and they will appreciate you so much more than one that you went and bought one at a pet store. Question 3, which will lead me into question 4. But question 3 also comes from Chris Wilson. You're a great electric guitar player. Thanks, Chris. I know I'm not, but thanks for pumping up my ego. Who is your musical inspiration and why? Now, I will say it's slightly embarrassing, but the main reason I finally went and bought this electric guitar was because of Blink-182 and the riff from the song Damn It on the album Dude Ranch. I love that riff. I was huge into Green Day, Rancid, like a lot of the punk rock stuff, Operation Ivy, like Suicide Machines and all that stuff back in the 90s. But the thing that got me to finally buy a guitar was the riff in Damn It. And then after that, I really got into a lot of different guitar players. I did learn mostly how to play punk rock. So it was mostly like just power chords, hammering on the guitar, which is why I'm not a very good guitar player, because most of the stuff I learned how to play when I was young, it was all that just hard punk rock palm muting, smashing on the guitar. But really, one of my idols growing up was Mike Ness of Social Distortion, and I believe it's October 8th. They're coming to the Sherman Theater in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and Scott and I got tickets. I have never seen them live. They are one of my all-time favorite bands. Finally going to get to go see them. Question 4. Part 1 is also kind of about guitars. This is from Stormy Adventure Time. She asks, do you write your own songs? Yes, I do. I haven't really written a full song in a long time, and it's mostly because when Scott and I get together, now it's just us drinking beers, having a good time, hanging out, playing some cover songs. I used to try to be like a pretty serious musician. I really wanted to start a band when I was younger, and I really wanted to play out live. And when I was young and in college, I had some dark times like everyone does, so I wrote some sad, depressing acoustic songs. I wrote some love songs. One of them is about Amy. I probably would have to look it up, though. I don't know if I could remember how to play it and sing all the words because I haven't played it in a very long time. But yes, I do write my own songs. I probably have a few that I'm like working on, if we could, I could say working on, but nothing, I haven't written anything full or solid in quite a long time. Now, question 2 from Stormy Adventure Time, she asks, you are very excited about your London trip. Yes, I am. You're probably watching this video either on the day I'm traveling to London or the day I'm traveling back from London. What was your most exciting trip in the past? There's probably 2 that I could say were super exciting. The first time I went to California, that was big for me. That was huge. I was 17 when I finally got to California. I was still really big into skateboarding, and to me, California was a mecca. That's where you went to skateboard. You went to LA, and that was it. But really, I would say the trip that really got me excited is the first time I went to Portland, Oregon. There's 2 cities in this country that I would do anything to live in. One's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast. The East Coast city is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Absolutely love that city. Not what it once was, but neither is Portland. But Portland, Oregon is my number 1 favorite city in America. If anyone from another country comes to America and you're on the West Coast, drive up the coast and go to Portland. That Keep Portland Weird slogan, it's true. I just love it up there. Like, it's clean air. There's tons to do. You can go hiking. You can hang out in the city. You can go to so many craft breweries. There's so many breweries out there, and I'm big into craft beer, so like you can go and just sample beers from all different places, all different breweries. On the coast, which is probably about an hour and a half or so, Newport, Oregon is Rogue Brewery. They're one of my favorite breweries. They make some amazing beers. Portland, Oregon is my all-time favorite place to visit. I've been there a few times, but the first time I went there, it was just a trip. But I got off the plane, and it became much more than just a trip. Question number 5. This is from Scott Jerome. What is the worst / scariest thing that ever happened to you while exploring an abandoned area? Did you ever run into squatters or animals? The worst and scariest thing is this right here. Oh shit! In hindsight, it's hysterical, but when it happened, when I saw Jay go through the floor, that was frightening. That was the worst and scariest thing that ever happened. We have not run into like animals. We thought we ran into squatters one time. We were in an abandoned building, and there were actually other explorers in the building. But walking up, it was winter. We saw footprints in the snow. They were going in. 2 sets of footprints went in. Nothing came out, and it just snowed that morning. So we knew someone was in the building. We were lucky, though. It was not squatters. It was other explorers, and they were courteous to us. We were courteous to them. When we were filming and talking, they were standing back. When they were taking pictures, we were trying to be in different parts of the building at different times, or at different parts of the building at the same time, so we weren't getting in each other's way, and it worked out fine. But yeah, we have found evidence of people living in places, but I've not found a squatter yet. And I honestly hope I don't. That will be a hairy situation. Could be bad. So I hope to avoid that if at all possible. Question number 6. Another one from Chris Wilson. Why did you start daily vlogging, and what do you envision as the future of your YouTube channel? Chris, a very good question. I started to daily vlog to challenge myself. I am a videographer for my profession, and I was getting burned out. I was getting bored. I want to invigorate myself and enjoy what I was doing again. So I'd been watching like Adam the Woo for a very long time, and then I started seeing Casey Neistat and Sean Duras, and I kept seeing Casey, and I was like, man, this guy's having a lot of fun. And as of most vloggers, he was a huge inspiration for me to finally pick up a camera and just do it. Just start vlogging, start editing every day. So I made a goal with myself to do 100 days in a row. And for those first 100 vlogs, or if you want, you can go back and watch them. They're not that good. Some of them have mid to high teens for views. I didn't know what I was doing for vlogging. I just grabbed a camera and started filming everything and just kind of linear, mismatched things together, and it was what it was. I put music to some of them I didn't put music to, but it was fun for me. I was enjoying it. So I was approaching 100 days in a row, and I was like, wow, this is coming quick. It's pretty easy. Like, I was getting into this groove, and again, I wasn't doing anything spectacular, but I was having fun. So I said, I'm gonna do 300 days in a row. 300 days without missing a day. And then I thought about it like a day later. I'm like, why am I gonna do 300 days? Why don't I just do a full year? So my immediate goal then was to do 1 full year straight without missing a day. And today, well, I can't tell you what today is because I don't know what day this video is going to go live. To date, I've done 284 days in a row without missing 1 day. Now, August 30th will be my 1-year anniversary, and I'm going to make a whole announcement video about what's going to happen with the vlog. But honestly, from the beginning, I didn't have an end goal. It was just to do different things and have fun. So the future of my channel now, I got some ideas of what I want to do. Nothing's concrete. I'm going to continue to daily vlog, but I'm going to try to do more than just me doing yard work. And even though I try to make it fun and interesting, I want to do more. I want to get better at what I do, because I've seemed to have fallen into a rut, and I want to get out of this rut. This is supposed to be fun, and I want to make it fun again. So the end game for my channel is to just hopefully continue to grow it and continue to have fun for myself. And hopefully that you guys will come on the adventure with me and have fun with me. Question number 7, and this comes from Spencer Boyle. Spencer says, this is probably the most boring question you'll get for the Q&A. Where did you get the red hat that you always wear in your YouTube channels with your logo on it? Funny enough, I'm not wearing that hat right now. I'm wearing my CCS hat. But the red hat that I have, I bought the hat on eBay and I bought the patch on eBay, and I just sewed the patch on the hat because no one makes them. I actually got the idea from a fellow YouTuber, Justin Bravo. He actually made one and said that he bought the patches and bought a hat, and I thought that was a great idea, so I did it too. I just made one. It's pretty cheap. You know, I think the patch is like $5 on eBay, and the hat really depends upon what hat you buy. I think the red hat was like $8 on eBay. Last but not least, question number 8 comes from Mariusz Gajic. Mariusz asks, how long have you been a videographer, and how did it all start? Why and when? I have been a videographer for over 10 years now. Let's see, I graduated from college in 2004, so either late 2004 or 2005, I got my first job part-time. I worked 4 days a week, nights, for like 4 hours a night, and I did that off and on for a couple of years, and then I was full-time at that same place. I am the corporate videographer now. So yeah, that started about 2004, 2005. The why, honestly, I fell into it. Really, I have a degree from Penn State University in print journalism. I wanted to be a newspaper writer. And then I decided I didn't like newspapers, so I was going to be a writer, and I had a great book idea, and I never wrote the book, and I honestly can't really remember the idea now. So I guess it wasn't that great of a book if I can't remember the idea. When I was in college, my college roommate was actually a film major, so I helped him out a lot. I was a PA, so I carried a lot of equipment, I held boom mics, I acted in some of his films. He taught me a little bit about editing, and then my friend's mom said, hey, there's a opening for a part-time video editor here. Are you interested? If you are, I'll tell them your name. Just go online and apply. So I did, and I got the job, and that's kind of where it started. It's all been downhill from there. I've done some freelance work here or there over the years. I think that kind of that's not Oliver barking, by the way. That's the neighbor's dog. I think I kind of covered the why because I fell into it. I didn't anticipate ever being a videographer. I needed a job. They had a job. They gave me the job, and I've been doing it ever since. So yeah, I did a little bit of editing in college, but mostly I was a production assistant. I carried stuff around. I helped carry big boxes of gear because in the early 2000s, cameras were much bigger. And you saw my old work camera that only shot in 720. It was probably about this long. Well, a lot of the cameras that we used prior to that in college, they were even bigger. So, I mean, I don't know how wide this lens is out now, but you're talking like cases that were like this big, like those big plastic, like Pelican cases, and some of them had wheels, some of them didn't. But there was a lot of times where my skateboard hauled a lot of gear across Penn State University's campus. So I hope that gave you some insight into who I am and a little bit of my background. If there's any other questions you would like to hear me answer, feel free to drop them in the comments section down below or in any of my future videos. I had fun doing this, and I wouldn't mind doing another Q&A down the line. So if you liked this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Everything you need is right down below, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for your next video. Good night.